Hello and welcome to the Smart Women in Business vlog and podcast. Today I'm talking to Helen Flitcroft. Helen is a mindset coach specialising in subconscious reprogramming for gritty entrepreneurs with kids at home. Her story is that of an expat mum moving from Australia to New Zealand and trying to bring up a very young family alone in a foreign country while transitioning from a business that was no longer a passion to creating a business that is her soul's passion. Welcome to the show, Helen.
Thank you so much, Jane. It's a pleasure to be here.
So your kids are obviously not with you today?
Kindy and school.
Hooray, so are mine.
Unless the phone rings.
Yes, oops, that's fine. Phones can ring. My phone's always there, just in case. Anyway, so tell me about your business journey. You've had quite an interesting journey to this point.
Yeah, well, it's certainly been a journey. So I come from a background in hospitality. So I was a chef in French restaurants and had a lot of success within that role. And then, I met my husband and thought, well, working in restaurants is not really conducive to starting a family, let alone looking after a family. So I'm like, well, it's time. I'd sort of achieved everything I wanted to achieve in that realm. And I thought, I'm going to set up a business. Not knowing anything about setting up a business, as we do. And so I thought, I'll set up a cooking school. And I did. And, went through the first bump that I think everybody goes through when you run classes and nobody signs up for the first class. I was like, oh my God.
But you go home and cry.
Yeah, you're like, what's wrong with me? But then things improved dramatically really quickly. So it was back in the days when those, those, what are they called? We have them over here in New Zealand now called, they're like vouchers, not vouchers, but it's like
balloon, like
coupons, Groupons, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like experience vouchers.
Yeah, kind of, and you would put a discount out, and this other platform would advertise it for you. So one of the reps came along and said, "Hey, should we do this?" Like, yeah, all right, okay, not knowing really anything, and we sold like 17 grand worth of cooking classes in one day.
So, how's that for scaling?
Yeah. So here I am, just going ka-ching, 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 watching all these sales come in. But I also managed to fall pregnant at exactly the same time. So here I am. Yeah. So here I am delivering all of these cooking classes like back to back to months, and you can see my belly.
First trimester going, I'm dying.
Yeah. I can't smell eggs. I can't smell things. Trying to do cooking classes. But, everything was really successful. It was great. And then, I had Thomas. We moved to Brisbane. I was in Perth at the time. And, I started thinking about maybe, I might start up cooking classes again. And there was a little cooking school nearby. And I thought I'd try one of those classes. And it was just impossible. Like my son was a really early walker at 8 months. So he was going all over the place, and
I was so happy my kids were delayed. Like weren't delayed, but they were really late. And I'm like, 16 months, that's fine, buddy. That's fine. You just stay there.
No, I had the opposite. So Thomas had all sorts of allergies, and I'm in this kitchen, and he's like doing things and playing in things, and I'm like, what am I doing? And at the same time, a network marketing opportunity came across my way, actually. And my mum grew up in Amway, and I'd seen all of the personal development, and I'd read all the books and gone to the conventions, and I was like, oh, that's right. Personal development, growth, motivation, mindset, all of that kind of stuff. And it was such a wonderful product, and I loved it. And I said to my husband, this is what I'm going to do. And he was like, no, you're not. I am quite, so we butted heads with that for quite some time, and it caused a lot of angst in the marriage. It really, really did, being told that I can't do what my heart's calling me to do. In that time, we also moved to New Zealand. So that's when things got really difficult, so I promptly fell pregnant with my second child as soon as we arrived. And I really wanted to follow my passion, because this deep inside is telling me this is what I want to be doing. And my husband going, no. And eventually I gave it up, for the sake of the marriage. But nonetheless, there's this thing inside of me that's wanting to help people, step into their greatness, follow their passion, empower them financially. So, you know, what I did in the end was I started my cooking school back up, even though I've got this thing inside, right? Because it was a proved activity and been successful in the past and da 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 da. So, and everyone loves the cooking
Food.
school. Yeah, and
Love
it's
food.
just a feel good thing and everyone loves it. And you know, so I was running it and it was okay, but you know, it wasn't really what my heart was calling me to do. So I started thinking, hey, maybe I'd like to be a coach. And started looking at all the different modalities out there. I did spend a lot of time making sure that whatever I trained myself in was going to be the very best that would serve my clients. I signed up for a course, which was amazing. And part of that was mindset. It was part strategy, part mindset. And the mindset aspect of it absolutely blew me away. So I'd been personal development junkie for a long time by then, consuming a lot of stuff. And then this came along and I just saw like my subconscious stuff evaporating. And I was like, holy crap, what is this? And I got myself
Magical thing I've stumbled across.
Yeah, like how could I be so lucky to actually find this thing, because it was really new in the world. And yeah, I got certified. I was accepted to be certified and trained for 6 months really hard doing that. And yeah, I've been certified as a coach for about 2 years now.
Wow.
So yeah, slowly transitioning out of that other business, which I still do a bit of, and we still will grow, but it'll be in a different way. But this is what I do full time now. I'm so happy to be finally doing this full time and really being who I'm meant to be.
It's funny because when, as women, we do spend a lot of our time doing what we think we should, instead of what we actually want to do. And it's rarely that we put, I want to do this, so I am going to do it. You know, put everybody else aside, everyone else's priorities. And that's a really difficult thing for a lot of women to do, because we have so many conflicting priorities.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously that move to New Zealand was a big trigger for change for you. But and then you stepped into this coaching role. How did you finally, like, so you a network marketing opportunity, because fun fact, I used to work at Tupperware Australia's head office.
Right.
Working in their sales and marketing department. So I know that, you know, that network marketing, it's a good model if you can do it correctly.
Yeah.
But so the personal development aspect of that was what attracted you to that. So how do you then create a model that's going to work with your clients? So around your coaching, how do you work that with living in New Zealand? Do you have clients here? Do you have clients in New Zealand? Do you have clients? I have clients in Texas, you know. Is it just Zoom, or what do you do?
Pretty
How do
much,
you make it work?
Yeah, Zoom.
Zoom. Yeah, that's how I make everything
Just
work.
like we are here. I've got clients all over the place, and really it's just a case of time zones more than anything else.
Germany's a tricky one for me.
Yeah, Germany and East Coast, Eastern Standard Time is a little bit tricky as well, I'm finding. So generally a lot of my clients, saying that, I've got quite a few in our group programs that are in the UK, but they just listen to the recordings. But generally sort of Australia, New Zealand, and then some in the US as well.
Because I know that people who are listening to this, some people haven't started their business yet, and they're like, well, how am I going to make that work? If, you know, and that is the beauty of it. Time zones are that tricky one. So yeah, people will work with you though from anywhere.
Absolutely.
I'm in the middle of nowhere in Australia, and I have clients all over the place. They just find you. Yeah. So yeah. So how do you manage your life then with 2 small children and you know, your family and your marriage, and you can cook, so that's handy.
Yeah, I suppose it is management. It very much is management. So you know, now that Sophie goes to a wonderful kindy, and it's a 9 till 3, so it's school hours. So that made a big difference once she had gone and Thomas was at school as well. But I'm very mindful of my time. I think firstly, you know, having gone through my first business, not knowing what I was doing and trying to expand on this business model that I didn't really understand. I had no understanding of how businesses work and how they scale. And so, you know, taking all the lessons that I learned from that one, you know, really building into what I do next, a model that is designed to scale, that I can operate efficiently, that does give me flexibility. So I was very, very careful about that from the beginning. But nonetheless, I still need to manage my time really well. So I guess it's a case of, I always plan my goals. You know, this is what I'm going to achieve, and I break it down step by step by step by step, right down to the day. I can't reach it with my gadget arms, but I could like whip it out here, my daily plan.
This is my day book. Everything. If it's not in here, it doesn't get done.
Well, that's it. Yeah. So mine's just over there, but it's very meticulously planned. And
do you allocate time?
I allocate priority.
Right. Yeah.
And usually when I'm doing that in the morning, I'll be like, okay, and I put my appointments down too. So I've kind of got my time in my head, like how much time I've got to get this stuff done. So yes, very much planning. But then as far as like husband time, I've got time I've got the certain nights, you know, that's our time, you know, and I give that time for him. And I literally weekends, mornings is for me to sleep in or just do whatever, pajamas till lunchtime. And then the afternoon is family, similarly on Sunday. So it's very structured. And I find that works. I'm so creative that I need that structure. If I don't have that structure, the chaos.
I am. I do not work in the evenings. Like if I work in the evenings, I don't sleep and I'm less productive the next day. Yep. So it's about finding what works for your personality and how you work. Like some people work better at night.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd rather get up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, and I try not to do both. I think, you know, sometimes it's very much like having a baby. I think you've got these push phases and rest phases and push phases and rest phases, and sometimes you just need to push, and sometimes you just got to drag that shit over the line. Yeah, I say that.
You're allowed to swear on my podcast.
Okay, we should have cleared that up to start with. Yeah, sometimes you do just need to buckle down and get stuff over the line, but it's not sustainable. So I've kind of got this philosophy of counterbalance, you know, so, you know, my tendency is to just go hammer stuff out, but then I'll stop and like just not do anything for a day or two if I have to sometimes, or my weekends and I don't work, and just that time is my time to just relax.
Yeah.
So that philosophy serves me really well as well, especially in a world where you get all these messages coming like balance, must have balance. And I feel I'm the most balanced person I know, but I don't really believe in balance in that way. But that's just my personality.
Yeah. I mean, I work in marketing, so social media is always there for me. It's never, and that's one of my big problems is that because you're always on, especially as an entrepreneur, you're always trying to build your business. You're always looking for opportunities. You're always seeing in the Facebook groups the opportunities. And that's one of the really hard things, I think, when you work for yourself is to put that line in the sand and go, right, that's it. That's it for today.
Yeah.
And I think that if we do go too hard, you know, burnout is a very real thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and I think managing our time is a key way to avoid burnout, because I've been there. It's not fun. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And you're just exhausted and you have nothing left to give your family or yourself. So avoid burnout, people. So
drink water. It helps.
Drink lots of water. What does a great day in the office look like for you?
Yeah, so this is a great question, and this is like a great day in the office. So usually it's up at 5, and then I will journal. I'll do a lot of journaling and planning.
More journaling. Tell me about journaling, just as an aside.
Journaling. So I open my journal
a lot, but I don't really understand the mechanics of it.
Okay, so I'll tell you my system. So I get up and I open my journal and I first go through a little bit of an inventory of how I'm feeling. You know, so the listeners could do this too, and the model is called PERMASH, PERMASH. I've adapted it from this PERMA model from positive psychology, but it's like, and the question is, how satisfied am I in the following areas? So P is positive emotions, and I give myself a number from 0 to 10. It's not how much I think I should be, how satisfied am I personally with my positive emotions. The next one is my engagement in life in general. Then R, relationships. And then M, money. And then A, achievements. The other A, my appearance. That was a big thing for me as mums. You know, we tend to like, it's so, you're like, when you haven't had children, like, why do they do that? Why do they let themselves go like that?
Why are they wearing activewear all the time? Because it's easy to wash and you don't need to
we know now.
Yeah.
And then S is spirituality, or spirits, if you're not really not religious, but you know, spirit is just, it's just spirits, who you are. And H is your health and hydration. So first thing, I just give myself a little gauge, and I check to see how I'm feeling, and I like look at any that, you know, are dipping down a little bit. So I know, well, I need to focus on that. And then the final question with that is, well, how satisfied am I, you know, on this journey? Like, even if my relationship is at a 5, you know, in general, how happy am I still, you know, on my journey in general? Because that's really important, to be really grateful for where you are on your journey. So then I say, well, what am I grateful for? I know what went well. So I review my day from yesterday, which is so powerful, because as entrepreneurs, we're always forward focused, you know, so to actually look back and go, oh, that great thing happened, and that great thing happened, and that great thing happened, and that great thing happened is really quite a revelation sometimes. I ask myself what I'm grateful for, what do I appreciate, there's a distinction for me between those two. A good question, how can I be more excited for my clients today? You know, I love that question. I ask myself, what do I wish for the world? What do I wish for others? What do I wish for myself? And sometimes I have like a statement like, I serve world-class clients, and it feels however it feels to me, so contented, relaxed, excited. And that's sort of my process. But if I'm having a shit day, I might just like, oh, I feel like crap, you know, and you just put it out there. And I find it really powerful.
It stops you processing it internally once you get things out, I suppose, to a degree.
It's very powerful to just own your emotions and be real with them. You know, and sometimes it just helps to say, hey, I'm just feeling a bit blah today. And that's okay.
With a 5 and a 7-year-old in your case, and a 5 and an 8-year-old in my case, I do have very blah days.
It happens.
It does. So back to your great day. You start with journaling.
Oh, yeah. So start with journaling, and then I get that done, and the kids are up, and it's like, I'm hungry, and school.
I want that spoon.
Can I watch TV now? It's Sophie's turn, it's my turn. So get everyone off to school, husband off to work, all of that lunches stuff. Come home, walk the dog. So then I get my exercise in, start my day at 10:30, 10 o'clock. Ideally, if I'm back by 10, some meditation, listening to some visualizations, and then whatever I've got for my 10:30 appointment. So do that, and then usually around 12 o'clock, I'm doing some kind of live interview or something like that, some kind of social media thing. And then in the afternoon, I'm either running coaching sessions or just doing whatever needs doing. Yeah, really. So that's kind of my perfect day.
Yeah, sending out invoices. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
very important.
Well, yes, I have Acuity, which does a lot of that stuff up front for me, which is great. And I have a lady who's an angel, and people need invoices. So I just go, no.
Righto. No, I'm still doing it myself. But anyway, I have a great app. I have Wave, which is free. And
I've heard it's amazing.
And then works out all my GST for me. I'm like, I love you.
Yes.
Yes, it is amazing. Anyway, so on to that. What tools do you use to help yourself be more productive?
Yeah, so Acuity, I love is the most adaptable thing. So especially when I was running my other business full time, I had like multiple cooking classes and multiple staff and going on there, plus my coaching at the same time. I was in this transition. It just managed everything for me, managed the payments, managed, I could email different people, and it was just the best thing in the world. I still love Acuity. ClickFunnels I use, so I found that really great for creating courses and automating things. Really powerful tool there. My own daily planning system that I use. It's not like software, but it's still a tool.
My own system, yeah.
It's not my own system, but it's the system that I use. Facebook.
We love it.
Tool. Yeah.
It's a great tool. I meet so many clients on Facebook, and that's not through my page. That's through groups, you know, and you can ask questions in groups and learn so much and meet amazing people. And, you know, Facebook groups have changed my life.
Absolutely. And even how I just connect with my clients, like I deliver most of my programs, you know, through Facebook. At least we've got a Facebook group and we'll be doing Zooms. You know, I'm in touch with my clients through voice messages and things like that. It's just like the ultimate tool. If Facebook went away, I'd be like,
what am I going to do?
Oh, all right.
Oh, okay.
Back to the drawing board. Figure this out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. And I talk about people having all their eggs in the social media basket, but at the same time, I mean, I would never recommend that someone runs their business entirely on Facebook, but God, it's a great tool. It is. If your target audience is on there, you need to be there and you need to be active. But I described someone, because a client of mine doesn't necessarily get her clients from Facebook, and said the other day, do I need a Facebook page? And I said, well, it's a bit like having a pet. You need to tend to it. You need to fit to it, and it needs being looked after every day. So, but Facebook groups are amazing. Yes. So obviously mindset is crucial in business. So what's your sort of number one or two or five, in your case probably, tip for entrepreneurs at each stage of their journey with mindset?
Okay. So each stage. So first stage, the dreaming stage, when you've just got an idea, you know. So I suppose it starts down here. So the first tip is, okay, when you create from a place like you're a child and you're playing, you know. It's kind of like, I'm giving you, do you like chocolate cake? Will you eat a chocolate cupcake if I give one to you? Yep. Okay. So yes. Yeah. All right. So I give you a cake, and not only is this a beautiful chocolate cupcake, but it's also got chocolate fudge icing on it. Okay. And I'm giving that to you, and you're like, bonus.
Yay!
And then I say, okay, Jane, like, here's a whole bunch of sprinkles and da 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 da, and you can just play with it, you know. So at that point, you're already in this gratitude, and then you're like, wow, do you see how your mind just opens to possibility, you know? And it's to be in that mindset, not in a problem-solving mindset, like, I need to create this thing to get away from that problem. You know, that's really important, because so long as you're in the space of resisting that thing and creating this thing because you're resisting that thing is just going to loom large, and it's going to be there. And you're always going to limit yourself by that thing. You know, oh, I've got away from that thing, and oh, I've succeeded. You know,
but why don't I feel happy? Yeah,
exactly. So it's kind of, it's an inspirational thing. It bubbles up from here. It usually comes with a feeling of desire mixed with fear, and that's the growth feeling. But if the desire is there, you know, so I would say listen to that little thing, the little whisper, the thing that bubbles up. But also be smart, be humble, be cautious, because business can really, really, really hurt. So get a lot of advice, you know. Be prepared, seek out the devil's advocates. Be prepared to have your ideas shot to pieces, you know.
Don't take that personally.
No. Yeah, and we'll talk about that, you know, at the next phase as well. But I think it's that, be courageous, be in that space of creation, but also be cautious as well. Definitely. Build it to scale. Work out where the traps are going to be. Ask the people who've already done that. Make sure you get your advice from the right people too. Have they achieved? Because your friends and family are going to say, yeah, that's an amazing idea, or they're going to tell you that it sucks and you'll never achieve anything. So find the person who's already achieved the things, actually qualified to give you the right advice. You know, listen to them.
Absolutely.
Stage. So second stage is going to be your startup. So what's important there? Putting your pride aside, putting perfectionism aside, going into productivity, getting a feedback loop. put it out there, test. It's not about you, it's about your clients. It's about, is my product serving my clients, and just put it out there and see if it sticks. And if it doesn't, then iterate and iterate and iterate, and kind of be okay with the, oh my God, it's changing all the time sort of mentality a little bit. But that's important. It's all about information. It's all about feedback and getting stuff out there, because so many people will get stuck in perfectionism. There's a fine line. There's a fine line between putting something out there and just going, oh my God, that's just so shit, and just everything having to be perfect, and you're not actually getting it out there and not getting the feedback back.
Done is better than perfect is one of the best things I've ever heard.
What was that? What was the
done is better than perfect?
Yeah, absolutely. And be in the mindset of, I'm a producer, not a consumer. If you sit there and go, am I more producer than consumer, or am I more consumer than producer? You're like, I got a problem here, because I'm supposed to be putting stuff out to market.
If
right?
You're a consumer, tricky.
Yeah,
tricky
well, that's it.
If you're a consumer, not a producer.
Yeah, definitely. So it's always good just to take that inventory. How much am I consuming versus producing? Next stage is that sort of things kind of establish themselves a little bit. And that's where I would say self-mastery really comes into play. Like, all of these things are important, but you start to get a little bit more hard-nosed. You start to take on more responsibility. You start to say no to things.
That's powerful. Saying no is powerful.
Yeah. And you get to a point where you just have to. And you've probably made a shitload of mistakes by this time as well. So
yeah, people, you're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, and team becomes like big at this point. You can only achieve so much on your own, and who you are, your reactivity, your own personal power, that's going to ripple out into everything that you do. It's going to it's your presence. It's almost like present. It comes before you. It has a lot to do with your influence and which team players, A players, because only please work with A players, learn from my mistakes. They're worth waiting for. They're worth fighting for. Yes, you have to be cool to be kind sometimes. But those people will only work with you if you're an A player yourself, and that kind of thing is just out there in the ether. So it's really about self-mastery. It's working out, well, what is personal power for me? Who am I? Who am I really? And healing the subconscious blocks and the triggers and things like that, so that you can communicate and you're an awesome leader. I would say that would be and working out where your peace is, finding out where peace is and how to access that, regardless of what else is going on around there, because you're kind of in it for the long haul at that point.
Yep. I've been in business for 10 years. It's a slog. And my business now doesn't look anything like how it started. So, and you have to find the bits you love and then outsource the bits you don't.
Yes. Like the housework.
There's no point working for yourself. You're doing all the horrible bits.
Exactly. That's not fun. Why would you?
No. You may as well go and work for someone else and get...
Yeah, absolutely. So if your business is not... This is where people get stuck. They're like, oh, I really don't enjoy doing this, but they haven't got a model that's actually serving them, and they can't afford to get someone to come in and do that. Well, you just need to take a really hard look at your business model and maybe make some adjustments there. So I'll just throw that out there for anyone that's kind of in that space. Don't kid yourself. Has to work. Yeah.
You have to be making money, or it's a hobby.
Yeah, or you're digging yourself into a hole. Not much fun.
No, and it's hard. It's hard to have those conversations effectively with yourself, or if you have a coach. But it is difficult, but you have to be honest.
Yeah.
You can't kid yourself, and you can't go along thinking something's working if you're putting yourself in a hole. So it's hard. So my next question, which sort of ties into that, is how do you deal with the bad days? Yeah. Obviously you have journaling and...
I'm a big advocate of the power cry.
I'm a power napper.
Oh, I have to get some
power cry. I just go and have a rest.
Just turn off. Wish I could do that. No, I just have a cry. I will just be like, blah. I'm a big advocate of feeling your emotions. So yes, I do subconscious just reprogramming. But, you know, just like driving a car, you want to learn how to drive a manual first before you go to the automatic. So emotions, manual emotions is they come in waves. Know that they come in waves, and, you know, it's okay to feel it and to just go, hey, I'm really feeling whatever it is, name it, and allow anything that wants to come up. And it can be a bit embarrassing, and, you know, hopefully you're at home and whatever, but I've got no poker face. Mine has come out in all kinds of embarrassing situations, but that's all right.
We're big girls, we can deal with it.
Yeah, it's all right. And just know that it will pass. And on the other side of that is this beautiful sense of peace, you know, and yeah. And it's kind of like once that has gone and you're just like, oh, and, you know, you've had enough bad days that, you know, there's going to be good days. And you get to this stage in business too that you start to like really relish the learnings. Like, this really hurts right now, but
I wonder what lesson this is teaching me, universe.
Yeah, but there's some good ones.
Or it can be taking those great leaps, which are really uncomfortable. And I have to do this for my business. It is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's so uncomfortable, and as humans, we're not designed to do things that are challenging and uncomfortable and scary.
No.
But you're going to do a lot of that in business.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And that's our old subconscious mind just wants us to be safe.
Yeah.
Just be safe and do what's proven, you know.
Yeah.
If broke is proven, just give me more of that.
Yeah.
Please.
I've just read Dr. Joe Dispenza's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Yes.
And I'm just about to embark on the meditations because I've had kids here a lot lately, unwell children.
Massive, those meditations.
Oh, so I'm like, gotta do that. But I'm like, I know it's going to be challenging. But as he says, we're not designed to be in the challenging, in the scary, in the unsafe feeling. So we're just at this point in as humans where we can challenge ourselves to that point and go, it's not survival. You know, we're not going to die if we do this stuff. And our subconscious brain doesn't know that.
No, it doesn't. You know, so that's one of the big things I do with people is we help them to step into, it's almost like creating future memories. So, you know, if you were to suddenly drop yourself into a whole heap of success that you're not used to, your body is going to kick up. Your physiology and your psychology and sabotage you to just get back to where you were, please, because that's how I like it.
Self-sabotage, huge in business.
So we do a lot of like visualizations, flooding our bodies with the emotions of how it would be, you know, when we've achieved a thing. So we're kind of training our physiology to actually, you know, accept these new states of being, these new identities, because it is big. This subconscious thing is massive. You know, if we don't actually choose to work with it, it's just going to keep pulling us back over and over and over again.
And you have to go through the challenging bits, get your body used to. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to feel challenged. So we talked about Facebook groups. So how do you maintain your sense of community while working alone effectively? I know you're probably like me and spend all day talking to people, but I do spend a lot of time by myself.
So I still haven't worked out if I'm an extrovert or an introvert. You know,
I'm an ambivert. That's my favorite
I'm an ambivert. But I'm not in the middle. I'm like extreme extrovert and extreme introvert. So when I want to be by myself, I just want to be by myself. And then I love being with people too. So
take me to a party and I will party, but then I have to spend the next day not talking to people.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. I'm in my head.
So I have so much time. There's Lucy. Sorry about that. Hi, Lucy. I've got so much going on that I'm not really needing to worry about alone time. So I could probably do with more alone time. So I've probably got more community than alone time at the moment. So I don't know. It's just being out there in the digital world, really participating in groups, adding value where you can. You know, I do a lot of group work as well. Like I don't do that much one-on-one. Most of the stuff I do is group training. It's what's scalable, and I love the power that's in groups as well. Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's called working from home, people.
Yes, it's real. Yeah, it really is home. She's getting old. She's getting a bit more barky. So I guess I just, in the nature of my work, I get out amongst people a lot. But when I was not in this line of work so much, and when I was doing more of the cooking classes, which were more sort of one-off events, as a lot of work and then a big event and then a lot of work and then a big event, I would really need to be mindful to get out into town and go to networking events and go to networking lunches and just, otherwise I'd kind of just go a bit like rabbit holey cuckoo.
I had a 6-month sabbatical and my house was so clean and I went, I've got to get a job. I'm not seeing enough humans. Yeah.
It is tough when you're a mum and your children are young too. That is important to just grab the kids and turn along to, like, I would be breastfeeding at networking meetings and things like that. And you just have to, otherwise, you're going to drown in that, what is the word? You kind of get a bit cabin feverish.
And you just get locked in your own thoughts. And
yeah,
I remember my kids have come to meetings. I had a week off when my son was born because I was like, I'll go crazy if I don't work. So I would be like breastfeeding in the car, then going to a meeting, and then he'd throw up on me, or he'd be crying, or he'd poo, and I'm like, oh well. And my clients are gorgeous; they understand.
Yeah.
And that's part of being a mum in business, but they respect you for it, actually.
Yeah.
And if they don't, they're not your people.
No, and I think the more we do it, the more it becomes normal. So
Absolutely.
Just go for it, even if you're the first one. You'll have the older women there going, oh, I wish I could have done that, but it wasn't even something that was even, they could even contemplate.
Option. Yeah. We didn't talk about breastfeeding. That didn't exist, women and babies. And anyway, we're lucky. We're so lucky.
Extremely lucky.
Breaking down the barriers slowly. So
Indeed.
What is your why and what keeps you motivated in business?
Oh, I'm one of these annoyingly always motivated people.
Oh, gosh. I rarely have days where I'm not feeling motivated, but like my ultimate motivation is like, I want to go on holiday so I can be with my kids.
Yeah. So to me, it's financial capability, I think. So ultimately, I'm just being who I am. So that's like the ultimate motivation, is being on the path that's meant for me. That in itself is like a firecracker up my ass. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else and just leave me to my own devices, and this is what I do. But having moved through being sort of an achiever and out there in the world and having a great job and a great income, and when I met my husband, we both had great incomes, we're doing all this amazing stuff, it's fun, and then we had a child
and all the fun and
and then another child, and then in New Zealand and even in Australia, we would get a little bit of money from the government just because I had babies, but that's not the case over here. So there was nothing. If I hadn't earned it myself,
you didn't get it.
I didn't get it, or it came from my husband, but it was sanctioned activities. Yes, you can use it for that, but I'm not so sure about using it for that. It was this. So for me, it's
different system. Yeah,
financial capability and autonomy. Definitely, that's big for me anyway.
Financial autonomy, I see, is so important for so many women, because for many women it's freedom. It's freedom from relationships, it's freedom from so many like burdens that because so many of us don't have that financial autonomy once we have had kids, especially.
Yeah.
One
of the things that I kind of wish I knew beforehand, and how important it is to set up your financial capabilities, to set yourself up to be autonomous, because you don't know what's going to happen in your life, and you might find yourself suddenly in another country, and my marriage has been hard, but we've worked it out. We're definitely over the hump as far as that goes. So anyone that's
having kids will do that to a marriage.
Oh yeah, moving countries, having kids, no mum or dad or sister or anything, just go, please hold the baby, or just best friend to go around to their house or anything. It's so hard.
Oh, I can't imagine.
So, yeah. So any of the expat mums out there, I know I've been through it.
Helen's feeling you.
Big time. So yeah, autonomy, financial autonomy, just being able to stand on your own 2 feet, because if you find yourself stuck and financially dependent on someone else, like that can be a bit risky.
Oh, it is. It's massive.
Definitely.
And also if they lose their job.
100%.
where's the backup? So, you know, that's, yeah, let's build our businesses, women.
Yes, indeed.
So, what are your final tips for all the smart women in business across the world?
Final tips for smart women in business: self-mastery, self-leadership. Find out who you are, you know, work out what power really means. Stand in your power. And I've got, if we can give stuff away, I've got something I can give away to help people. I'll talk about that in a sec then. So, yeah, it's self-mastery and really heal that subconscious stuff. Go to those places. It can be scary, but on the other side of that is such a free psychology. Like, I used to have all the negative voices. I used to be so hard on myself, you know, and I'd beat myself up for beating myself up, right? I don't have any of that.
The guilt, it's great.
Yeah, I don't have that anymore, and it's so freeing, you know. And as entrepreneurs, we want to be able to focus, and we want to use our mental energy as much as possible. So self mastery, 100%. So shall I talk about my thing?
Yeah. I'll, just before you go into that, just let everyone know I will put all your links and everything to what we're going to talk about in the show notes, so everyone has access. Don't worry. Okay.
Cool. Yep.
Go nuts.
Cool. All right. So what I have, and I'm gonna, sometimes I sell it and sometimes I give it away depending on how I feel. But, I was chatting to Jane, I was like, oh no, let's just give it away. So I've created this mini mindset course, and it's called the Mumpreneur's Path to Power. And I've pretty much put everything. If I get one chance to change somebody's life, I've bundled it into that course. So the first is, and it's 2 phases. So the first phase, we talk about personal power and using our conscious mind to really step into a high performance mindset over any kind of situation that we feel we might not have control over. And then the second phase is the introduction to MAP, which is the subconscious reprogramming methodology that I practice. And we take a fear. So in the conscious process, we sort of identify a fear. And then in the second phase, we actually, we go through this process, and we actually start working on that fear, and hopefully it will just disappear.
Yeah. I'm going to be signing up for this mindset course. I work a lot on mindset, but I haven't done MAP.
Yeah, it's cool. It's so amazing. The most amazing discovery of that is that there's like an aspect of our consciousness software that has access to both our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. So it can heal itself, you know, just by command. It's the most incredible thing. I'll give you one story. There's a lady, I was running a little course, and she came on this course, and I gave her the mini mindset course to do part of the pre-work. And she was so terrified of doing Facebook Lives that she had this old laptop that she used, and she had a Band-Aid across the camera. Like, she was that, like, did not want to be seen, did not want to be heard. Anyway, she does this course, and she pulls the Band-Aid off, and she's doing a live in our private Facebook group. she's actually just going out to like all of Facebook. So it was kind of like a baptism by fire, but it was just miraculous to see that, you know, and you don't always get massive results like that, but sometimes you do as well. Yeah. So we want to take it gently to start with. But yeah, that's an introduction to that. And then I throw in a bunch of meditations and visualizations and things that I like as well.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. And as I said, I've put all the links in, because just mindset. So mindset is the first thing I teach in my marketing program.
Yep.
Because it is basically the thing you need to nail.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn everything else, but if your mindset's not on where it needs to be, you're not going to get there.
No longevity.
No, and fear, always fear. You'll live in a bad place of terrifying emotions all the time.
Yeah, on that note as well, so self-mastery, hang around people that are doing what you want to do. Circle of influence is massive. You know, tweak your environment as much as you can to support you.
I talk about the 5 people around you. And I go, that's why we have our Facebook group, because we have all these amazing supportive people in there. Yep. But you can go in there and go, oh, I'm having this, or I'm doing this, or what's happening here. And then you've got these amazing uplifting people to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. And podcasts, if you're doing the dishes and the laundry or whatever, stick a podcast in.
If you don't have a 5-year-old as loud as mine. I
Yeah,
turn the car on the way to school pickup because then I can actually listen.
However it works, yeah. Feed your mind with the good
They would,
stuff.
I can imagine my kids, if I walked around with headphones in, would be a good idea. Be present, Mum. Anyway, I love my kids. I love them. Anyway, well, thank you, Helen. I will put all Helen's links in the show notes so everyone can master their mindset.
Get onto it. It's a great course, really, really great course. And I'm available. You'll be able to connect with me if you need to, through that course. So it's the best of the best that I had to give, all lumped up into a nice little package. So I really hope that it's valuable and that if you grab it, that you enjoy it.
Thank you so much. So it's been Helen Flitcroft on the Smart Women in Business podcast. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you, Jane.